Alright guys, well I want to thank you guys for stopping by. It's been a minute since I've made one of these videos, so I'm kind of happy to be able to finally put one out. But what I like about this is, I mean, to most people it just looks like a boring workout video, but what it really entails are a lot of elements that a lot of basketball players know that they're doing it, but they don't know the words to use it. So right now, for instance, as you look at attempt 40 or 50, right? The big issue that goes on in my mind is timing the dribble with my actual steps. It takes a lot of time because your brain actually has to send signals to your feet and your hand at the same time. There's a time to bounce, as well as when as you see, I'm going to jump off the outside foot. The power bounce has to happen as soon as that foot hits the ground, because you want the ball to levitate so that it actually catches. You can catch the ball with a vertical upward thrust. You don't want to have to lift the ball up. You want to power bounce the ball, pow, right there, so that when you jump, the ball is actually not rising into the sky. And that's part of what makes you more efficient. Secondly, the faster you go, the harder it is to control that dribble, right? So again, what I'm actually trying to do is dribble the ball behind my knee. So a lot of basketball players, you really don't think about it, but a lot of times you're dribbling the ball in front of you. By dribbling the ball in front of you, it keeps you from being able to grab the ball with the defender's hand in the face. If you keep the ball dribbled on your hip, as opposed to dribbling in front of you, you can use your body to shield the ball on your shot attempt. But if you dribble the ball directly in front of you, a defender can easily reach out, smack the ball away, and greatly affect your shot. You want to get to the point where you're making moves so the defender has no influence or very minimal influence on your shot attempt. Now again, as you see, I'm missing a lot of this, but I'm actually right-handed, so a lot of these shots with my left hand are what I probably would have been shooting when I was 11 or 12 years old, which would be about 20 years ago. But the key is each time when you switch your hand and you're using another hand, it's as if you have to learn you have to train your muscles all over again. And that's kind of what makes basketball so interesting. Okay, so again, you have to keep, one of the things to focus on is being able to maintain that dribble below the knee and outside of your knee while you're moving forward. What you have to actually do, it puts a lot of pressure on your deltoids, which is your shoulder muscle, in order to control that ball's velocity as you're moving forward. Because essentially you're pushing the ball forward, but you're also giving it a lateral twist so that it bounces outside of your knee as you're going forward. Now, as I raise to the sky, I have to give it an extra power bounce so that it pushes my hand upwards while I'm shooting. Now when I jump, as you can see, right now I'm just wearing flip-flops, but what you want to do is land on two toes, because the force that you rise with, if you don't use your calf muscles to absorb that force when you're landing, it goes into your knees, right? And as we all know, knees are made of cartilage, and your knees are not designed to continuously absorb force. Your muscles are. So if you don't use those calf muscles to absorb the force, what essentially happens is your knee starts to stiffen up, get loose, and you'll start to see a lot of players who played and not know the effects begin to experience a lot of knee discomfort. And then I mean, finally, when I explain to you using your calf muscles, if you pay close attention, you'll see that when I land, the back of my foot does not hit the ground, right? I'm landing on my tippy toes, and I'm controlling all of my body weight on my tippy toes, right? I mean, obviously, the lighter you weigh, the less force you have to absorb in your calves, right? But essentially, you have to build your calf muscles up to be a long-lasting basketball player, because, again, all forces have to be absorbed. And if you want to continuously stay healthy, you want to use your muscles to absorb force, because that's what they're made for. So the same muscles that you use to jump are the same muscles that you want to use when you land, right? So a lot of times what you'll see is, if you pay attention to people who aren't really paying attention to this concept, you'll see they land flat-footed. You'll hear a loud crunch, right? You won't hear that cat-like bounce when they hit the ground, because they're not actually using their muscles. They're using the joints in their knee to absorb the force. Now, again, using your joints, that works for a short period of time, right? I mean, the joints, they're designed to absorb force, but over time, they don't. They begin to wear down. It's like a car, like I compare it to tires, from a car, right? I mean, that tread eventually starts to wear down, and you have to completely replace the tire once it wears down. Muscles, on the other hand, they don't really wear down, right? I mean, what they do is they get fatigued, but they don't wear down. They actually use glucose. Don't get me scientific, but they use energy from your body to absorb force. Cartilage doesn't, right? Cartilage is like a sponge, you know. And once that sponge gets damaged, it takes a very long time, if ever, depending on where you're at in life, for it to recover. And so that's why you see a lot of people who have ACL tears, MCL tears. Those are very long-lasting damage. Now, a lot of times when you have muscle damage to your muscle, you sit back, relax for a little bit, and it repairs. Why? Because muscles are used to generate. Just the point of, when you pay attention, you see that I'm jumping on my toes and I'm landing on my toes, right? And secondly, I want to land with a forward momentum. I don't want to land going straight down. And when you land going straight down, there's a vertical pressure point that goes straight through your knees, as opposed to having a sideward momentum when you land. So for instance, when we're running as humans, we run forward. Our body is designed to transfer weight continuously as we move forward. Now, we're really not designed to just jump up and down, because our knees are not designed to catch weight going straight down. Our knees and our ankles are designed to catch weight moving forward or going backwards in that same opposite direction that you're running. So again, if you pay attention to those things, I'll hopefully in time be able to explain it better as I go through more of my videos. But that's a very important thing to teach children. As adults, if you don't really think about it, it's very hard to teach those children to understand it, but you want to learn this concept early.